Maybe one day I'll buy another latch. It's just a little bit sketchy. Not like the other side though. Naturally, the passenger side is a no-brainer. Real simple. Because it gets the less use. Make sure that's going underneath here. Underneath here. Not underneath here. If you got it underneath here, you won't get your glass up in there. Trust me, I know. Oklahoma beat Texas. Yay! All right. I'm not a football fan, but I like the OU Texas game. It's pretty good. Good rivalry going on there. And Sooners haven't lost a game yet this year. This goes on next, and you know, I got to thinking about something. And what I was thinking about was this part is whatever it is from Wolfsburg, 100. Just say it's $100. Go to Volkswagen and you have a Jetta or Tiguan or whatever they have now, Atlas, yeah, and get yourself a piece of trim or belt molding or something like that, and go price it. See how much it is. See how much it is. It'll be $100. Okay? Now, in 40 years, you will not be able to buy a piece for the Tiguan. But you can still buy these pieces for this car. You can buy every piece for this car. That's just fabulous. I think it's great. Anyways, this goes on next. So clips in place. Rolls over like that. Careful when you put your vent in there, don't scratch that up. Don't forget your clips. Get my fingers out of there. While you have your vent glass tipped back and shoved in there, put your screw in there. Don't put it in there afterwards because you won't be able to get it in there. Make sure this piece is pulled back and this piece is pulled back. Then you can stick your vent glass in there. Can't do it with one hand though. That's a machine screw, not a self-tapper. Pay careful attention to this. If you turn it slightly sideways, just slightly, like a little bit, this will, the little plate there will clear the latch if you turn it this way, and then slide it up and then turn it. Inner belt molding is next. Line up all your clips, look at your holes, kind of center them, bring it forward or backwards, however it must be. And then while you're here, you have to eyeball or mark this. And because it's going to have to be cut off here and here. You're kidding me. You have to cut it? I knit you snot. You have to cut it. Now, see that metal that little metal piece right there with the felt on it, where you want the edge of that metal is right there. See my fingernail is? Don't have it here because the window will hang up on it. You want to have it on the outside of that right there. Right on that little, so it has a little purchase right there, like an 1/8 of an inch purchase. That's where you want to cut that. That's how, yeah, finicky that is. So let's cut that. I can't believe we cut it. Yeah, let's cut that and we'll put that on there. Right there. Slide your glass up through the bottom and take your bolts off your regulator, put something up underneath your regulator, pull it away from. Stick your stick down in there and make sure your glass is going to come not underneath this or this, but on the other side of your stick, like that. And then pull your stick out. Okay, now that you got this, now you can pull your whatever you have out. Incidentally, I found these for my other regulator, so I have to put those on the other side. Little rubber bumpers. Okay. Here's your channel. I'm going to put this on here, and we're going to roll it up and down without any sealant in it first and see if we can't work out some of our up and down problems, see if there's any problems in there. So bolt that on there and slide the glass down. When you're satisfied with your glass rolling it up and down, then you can glue it into the channel. Or you can tap the channel on using that rubber stuff that Wolfsburg sells, or whoever sells, all the places. Glue it in place, make sure you don't have it spooging out all over the place. Because what will happen is it'll stick your belt molding to the glass. So make sure you wipe off whatever spooge so it doesn't stick itself to the belt molding up there. What's the chances? Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Red 7. Here's your gas tank. We'll put this in next. Make sure that this is pointing towards the back. And essentially what you're going to do is you're going to make a loop to the gas tank. If it's pointing in front, your loop will go and rub on these components. So you want your loop to go in the back. Alright, put your length of braided hose on there. You can use worm clamps if you want to. I bought this whole set of pinch clamps and pliers for $21 on Amazon. Beautiful. And that's what it came with originally, as pinch clamps. We're going to measure this and see about a nice loop, about like that, and we'll cut it. And what we'll do is we'll pinch this off, or we'll plug it, and we're going to give this a test drive with Toby, because most assuredly it will leak. If you're satisfied that your fat tank of gas isn't leaking, then you can proceed forward. I cut it long enough for a loop, and I pressed on I didn't press on, but I put on a pinch clamp, so when we get it in there, we'll be able to pinch that closed. That's a foam dam that goes under the tank on the ledge. Take a little lacquer thinner and clean that edge up. So your new one will stick. About like that. Kind of in the center of this lip. Enough to do the whole tank. You'll have 4 or 5 inches left over. Use a razor blade to cut it. If you turn the tank sideways and then whistle Dixie and pluck a chicken at the same time, you can get that hose on there and get a clamp on there. I've noticed there's lots of Dixie whistling and chicken plucking putting this car together. I think it's because it's so small. You want to make sure and put some gas in it before you bolt it down, because there will be a leak underneath it. A leak? Well, yeah, what'd you think this was? Let's look for the leak. Well, I don't see anything. Must be a Christmas miracle. Okay, now we can bolt it down. Should I use new bolts or old bolts? Yeah, I thought so too. I use the old ones. You're going to need 4 of these daddy-os. Like that. Like that. Well, there's a place where a washer was right there, so I think they're going to go like this. Yeah, I'm going to concur with that too. So it's going to go kind of like that, I think. I would guess. Better find some washers too, huh? Got our bolts in here. I did a little electrical tape job. Here's the deal about electrical tape. If you see it on a car that you're not familiar with, or you didn't do it, run away. If you can prove, or you did it yourself, that underneath it is solid wire, it's been soldered and heat shrunk, that sort of thing. If all that's doing is giving a little protection, well, I'm all for it. So there you go. That's my 2 cents on electrical tape. This has all been correctly wired together. It's not twisted together with crimp ties or anything. It's all soldered. Put a spot tie underneath there to hold it together. Spot tie there. Same on the other side. holds it all down. Now our gas gauge needs to go in. This is the original Magura unit, and all I did is unseize it. If you don't trust the gasket, put a little red sealant on it. Not a lot, a little. Captain Obvious tells me it goes in there this way, with this gizmo going in here, and then this going right, something like that. And put your screws in there. This little deal fits right in. There's a little notch, and there's a notch in the ferrule here at the end of the cable. You want to make sure that this thing operates also. You can hear it hitting the bottom of the tank. So incidentally, I have a ½ gallon of fuel in this, and it's not registering. So I'm going to put a ½ gallon more in it and see where it registers. Because if I have a whole gallon of gas in there and it's stone empty, okay, on the gauge it's stone empty, then I know when it's stone empty it has a gallon of gas in it, if that makes sense. So you can kind of figure out how much gas is in your tank when you're empty. Don't forget your overflow. And yeah, I should use some of this. I don't have a piece that's long enough. I would have to put two of them together, and then on top of it all, I'm assuming that's what that hole is for, is it's too big. Stuff's too big. This works pretty well. I like that. So that'll work for right now. I didn't think about this while I had the body off. I could have beat these into submission. I can still probably tap that a little bit, but you want to really be careful about prying and tapping in this point of the game, because you could pry and tap yourself into crying really quick. I put a pry bar behind this, and you can't believe how strong those two pieces are. So after I clean and paint those, I'm probably going to run a nice bead of urethane there, and I'll grease the back side of that, and when I stick it on there I'll be able to get it back off because the other side is greased, and it'll have some sort of sealing effect. And so we'll get those done, and slowly but surely we're getting all the little to-dos done, taken care of, while I wait for one of those. Okay, that about wraps it up on this one. I hope you learned something about the gas tank and how it installs. I hope you learned how door went together, learned something new maybe. I'm really satisfied with this, how it shuts. Nice and tight, no rattles, window rolls up and down, vent opens, that kind of stuff, door lock works. So yeah, I hope this is helpful for anyone assembling a Volkswagen, and for those of you just watching to watch, I appreciate it. Thank you, and remember to like and subscribe. And still waiting on some more electrical parts for this, and then we can finish that. All right, see you later.